Greetings from the Suffolk VA Homestead. Wow, there's a lot of echo here. Anyhow, if this is your first time on the homestead, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Today has been a week and a day since we poured the slab. Still not entirely happy with how it's dried, but let me pull you off here. It still doesn't have the right color that I'd like to see, but given that there's, you probably can't see it, moisture flowing from the rafters, it's going to take a little while to dry out. So we're not going to be putting a vehicle or any weight on it yet. But what we are going to be doing is setting up the apron. The apron is the area where the vehicle's going to drive in, also so that we can close the door if it's tight. So first things first, we got to get this formwork out of here. So follow along. Sorry about there. So you can see what I wanted. What I did was I basically followed the marks, went a little bit above it, and then I set the door and latched it. So when everything is said and done, I can push it down and it will latch in there and have a nice tight seal. So step one out of the way. Now we got to go through and do some marking and do some excavating. something for those of you that don't work in concrete that may not know. If you're doing this yourself and you want to pin this, if you just tried to pound this nail in, you'd throw your form off, way off. So what you do is you take a big hammer. You can use one of these, you can use a sledgehammer, just a bigger hammer than what you're hitting with. And then you can just drive it in with the minimal amount of movement in your frame. The reason you pin it is two parts. One, to keep it from moving side to side, and second, to keep it from moving up and down, because this will float if you get concrete too fast and it gets underneath it. So I just got the edges to do, and then a little bit of cleanup on the grade, because I don't want to leave that sawdust there. All right, before I get started with the next step, I'll show you here. I got the stakes in and nailed. Everything's all cleaned up and set up. So the way we're going to be doing this is, according to my calculations, we're supposed to use 12 80-pound bags, which is approximately a quarter yard or 0.25 yard of concrete. And pouring that much concrete is really not financially beneficial to do it from a mixer or from a truck. You end up with overfees and additional costs that are associated with a short load if you call in a truck. That's why we're using a bag. Along with the bag, I have this fine relic right here. This is a Red Lion. Let's see if that'll focus. Red Lion RLX 3. I don't know if they still make them. I got this for, well, another project I was doing. A buddy of mine had it. It was just sitting in his backyard. He hadn't used it in over a decade. He's like, yeah, come on and grab it. Once I got it here, he was like, well, I don't really need it, so you can keep it. The only thing I've done to it, I've greased it and kept it under a tarp. It's been pretty good. Now that I say that, I'm probably going to plug it in. It's going to smoke and fry and, you know, all that fun stuff, but we'll see what happens once I plug it in. It is loud. It is not a quiet machine. I will be with hearing protection on. You'll hear it when it starts, and hopefully that wind in the background isn't too bad. But it's about 1 o'clock, and I'm trying to pour this today because this is Tuesday. We're in the mid to upper 40s today. We're going to drop down to 31 tonight. Tomorrow is going to be the mid 50s with an overnight low in the 40s. That would put us into Thursday, or put us into Friday. Friday, the bottom's going to drop out. I think we're going to have a high of 40 during the day on Friday, and then it drops to 20. So I want to get this in the ground so that it can at least get a decent cure on it before we have the really cold weather come in. I just did that because, well, use weasel, or sorry, I was going to use a slang for it. I use WD-40 on the 2x4s because I don't want the concrete to stick to the 2x4s. Along with that, I do have my hearing protection, and this is one of the few times you're going to find me wear gloves. And so that you can see, right here, hope you can see that. So you can pull that out. Right here is one of the stakes that holds this building in position. I'm going to actually pour right in there and shove the concrete into the holes on both sides. This one actually looks, yeah, you can see that one much easier. So that I can anchor the building right into the slab that I'm about to pour. Along with that, one of the things I just thought of as a last second thing, if you look right in there, I went through with my level and made a, well, mostly straight line all the way across, so I know what level to pour the concrete to. Probably would have been better if I'd done that first, but yeah. I ain't perfect. I'm rough on concrete. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm just making do with what I got. Good, you're still recording. All right, I'm making a change. I don't like, oops, sorry. I don't like the lip that's there. That's almost 2 inches of lip. So I'm gonna bring it up some. Probably spread another bag, maybe 2, over the top back side, bringing that edge up a little bit. I don't want, because that there, that's, to give you context, yeah, that's almost 3 inches. I wouldn't be able to get Hun's car in here if I did that. So let me fix that. And what do we got here? Yeah, by the time I'm done, your battery will be too. So I'll be back when this is all done. Yeah, that's a little better. I've still got 1 inch of lip, which probably means I'm gonna have to cut the locks a little bit bigger on the door. Cut them up just a hair so that they latch when the door is down. Excuse me. But if you notice, I'm getting little streamers in there. So the water that is percolating up through is actually running off, which is, you know, shows that I mixed the concrete way too wet. But at the same time, it means that any water that does fall is going to fall away from the garage and not towards the garage. So now is just a waiting game. I'm going to give this probably about an hour, then trowel it out, see where it's at that point, and then probably work my way down from there. So, and again, I'm not a professional. This is not a closed course. I have done this kind of stuff before, but it's been a while. So now I'm going to sit back, try to keep the chickens off it, and wait for the paint to dry. Be back in a bit. Sorry. Okay, it's a day later. I finished up the concrete last night after dark, so this is going to be my first time seeing it in the daylight, and yours. So this is what we ended up with. Still looks a wee bit wet, but we got grooves in there. Let's see here. Yeah, she's still semi-soft. We're gonna wait at least a week before we drive on it. I'm gonna try to give another day or two before I pull the form boards. So the texture on it, I hope you can see that. I put texture on it because you do that for traction. And the way I did it was literally with this broom. I just wet the broom and ran it across the top of the surface just to give it some texture other than the garage floor texture. Like I said, probably gonna pull the form boards maybe tomorrow if the weather permits. Otherwise, we got a chicken out. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to go for Friday when it's cold. But hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed our hijinks, and please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.